Alrighty then, recording has started. Alright, we are at a new airfield. We're at Akrotiri in Cyprus, is it?
Yes.
Alright, Akrotiri in Cyprus. We've switched back to our old standard roles. I'll be flying Blue Angels 5. BrotherLeb will be flying Blue Angel 6. And that means we're back to our old roles for the briefing as well. So I'll start. We're flying at Akrotiri. It's going to be a right out of Chalks onto Whiskey, right onto Yankee to hold short runway 28. Then we will do our takeoff checks there, and then we'll roll into the runway and set up for the section takeoff maneuver, at which point it is a standard show. Right turnout from the delta breakout for a left pitch up to land. Runway 08. No, runway 10.
06.
Sorry,
10.
06, right? No, 10. Yeah, that's right.
10. You're right. 10.
Stagger will be left. We'll do a solo departure. We'll do a solo turn off at the end and go well clear on Whiskey, or aka the left turn into parking, for individual right 45s into Chalks. So you'll have to taxi past me to get there.
Roger.
What's our weather briefing for today?
Yeah, whether Akrotiri as of 050 Zulu, winds were 110 or 100 at 4 knots, visibility 6 miles or greater. Clouds few at 4,300, scattered at flight level 230. Temperature is 19, dew point 9, altimeter 29 or 9 or 4. No remarks.
All right. Any thoughts before we do goals for the show?
I don't think so.
All right. Goals for the show. My goal for the show is to fly consistent and clean, and also adjust to wherever you put the center point. I think I did my practices with where you're putting the center point, but if it is where I think it is, just remember to keep my altitudes benched up so you don't hit the trees on inbounds.
Got it. It should be really obvious. It's a 3-level high crate stack.
Okay. Is it by the fence?
It's by the fence.
All right. Yeah. Cool. So just keeping everything at 250, except for the vertical pitch, which I will brief now. We're going to do it at 200 feet.
Vertical pitch at 200. Loop right cross we'll do at 150. I think we can probably get away with that.
All right. Goals for the show for you?
Yeah, go for the show for me. Just get back into this role and how we're doing it. Get comfortable. Fly safe. Execute good rejoins. The idea, I think let's see, how can I encapsulate that? I'm going to encapsulate that in no major safeties.
All right.
That'll be the goal.
Yeah, wide and safe today is probably the best play for both of us.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you want to do timings to 4 miles or standards
Yes.
that we did before?
I would like to do timings to 4 miles. Let me brief that a little bit.
Yes, let's do it.
So it's going to be 4 miles mark. Let me know when you're a beam. Let me know when you're ready to take your mark. Go ahead and take it. Stand by, mark it. I will call a time. So it'll be like 54 or 03.
Mm-hmm.
At which point that's our marker for 10 seconds. Then at 10 seconds, your goal is to be at 4 miles at 400. Your call should be 10 seconds mark on, or 10 seconds mark 0.2 late, 0.2 early, and then say slow or fast. You don't have to give a speed if it's slow or fast by a significant amount.
Okay, so let's say you say standby mark at 54.
Mm-hmm.
That means I want to be at 4 miles at 04 doing 400 knots.
Yes.
If I am at 4 miles at 0.6, I will call 0.2 late, and if I'm doing 430 knots to catch up, I will call fast.
Correction. You always call 10 seconds, but then you call where you are relative to the goal.
Right. 10
and speed.
seconds mark, 0.2 late fast.
Yeah.
Would be the call for if I was doing 430 knots and I was 0.2 from the thing at 04.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think I've got it.
It'll take a little bit to adjust to. Also, in the middle of that 10 seconds, I'm going to be calling the maneuver, and you're going to be repeating the maneuver. Because that's where that goes in the
Copy.
sequence. So it's not between
Got
4
it.
miles and 3 miles. It's between the 10 seconds mark and the 10 seconds. I probably will forget, but
Cool.
that is where it's
Got it.
supposed to go.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Yep. That's it. I was trying to think about if we what?
I almost forgot. DTC.
Oh, yeah, we need that. Okay. I think that's more or less it. I'm not gonna do the new taxi comms because I forgot to practice them. And that's also one more things to add. So, in Blue Angels fashion, we're gonna add one new thing at a time. So we don't jump into all new stuff all the time. So our one new thing is the 10 seconds, and that's going to be a challenge because I haven't nailed it yet.
I haven't even practiced it yet, so it's definitely going to be a challenge over here. Alrighty, let's do it.
All right, I'm going to switch inputs. Ready, break?
Ready, break.
Leave it, Charlie. How me?
There we go. Now the stream has me. Awesome. Okay, stream has me. I'm going to knock that down to 1.9 as well, because I adjusted that later. Alright. I've got you, you've got me. How we doing on visuals? I have both of our visuals. Looking good. Disable the preview. Minimize this. Close that.
Ooh, disable preview. That's a good idea.
Sorry, what?
Alright.
What were you saying?
Disable the preview. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Always. That way you get...
Let me know when you are ready to unpause.
Alright. Change radio and pause.
Alright, I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Alright, advise when ready for startup.
Ready for start.
In 3, battery on in 3, 2, 1, mark. APU on. Standby canopy.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby Ranger crank.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby Ranger forward.
Lab.
Ranger forward in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left Ranger crank. Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1. Mark. Stand by left engine forward.
Roll
left, roll left.
Left engine forward in 3, 2, 1. Mark. Stand by
Flight controls.
FCS.
Flight controls.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1. Mark. In test.
Lab same.
Should probably turn on my HUD. Dude, thin HUD is so much nicer.
It is. It really is.
Went into a public. That GR server was verified. Chariot's FCS's go.
Lab.
I really wish that they would improve the refresh rate of the screens. Or have an option where you could pull those out of DLSS.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something you can, I don't know where my settings are in the main menu.
No, you can't pull them out of DLSS.
Well, like whether you can improve the refresh rate or not.
Navwind is 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 16 knots. Just as an FY. It's weird because it worked fine all the other times I tested it, so. Such
Yeah,
as it is. We've flown high winds before, we can do it again. It's a headwind. Chariot's IFA is holding DTC.
Lab.
Because as nice as the METAR is, the mission,
I'm not sure that the DCS real weather does the conversion that we've figured out is actually the case.
I thought it did based upon what I was looking at, but apparently not. Chariot's DTC is complete.
Oh, come on.
Chariots, would you come on? Discord check.
Good job.
Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading tree 00. Sorry, tree 0 tree. Check your altimeter set. 2908 6.5 for a corrected start point elevation of 0 feet. Check your bear warning 0. Check your FCS 12 30 30 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat arm lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off. Oh, Jesus.
Good.
Alright.
Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are 100 for 16 knots. Check your altimeter set 2994 for a corrected altimeter of 2986 in a little bit. For a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of about 78 feet above sea level. Cherry Squawk 1205, Web Squawk 1206, you're clear to taxi right out of Chuck's, right on Whiskey, right on Yankee for a hold short 28.
Thanks, Fleb. Cleared to taxi. Hold short 28. Solos were cleared to taxi. Check your parking brakes off. Chairs parking up to 75%. Off brakes now. Okay, when I go, a clear. Chairs easy power to 70. Land and roll. Solos ready to switch. Solo switching 8.1. Chariot's up 8.1.
Left.
Solos are coming right. Give me 2 on the right wing.
Left.
Go line abreast.
Left.
Ease power to 68. Coming easy left. A little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your lights off. Check your landlines off. Check your flaps are half blind or auto. Check your waypoint is in the box showing waypoint 1 at 0.7 miles. Check your altimeter set to barometric set to 2986.5. Check your dispensers bypass in your seat is armed. Check your heading. My heading 049er.
Lab.
Check your park up is off. Chairs parking up to 70% off. Brake snap will attach.
Lab tap. Coming easy line.
Coming left. Okay, on the block. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Solos were clear for takeoff. Updated winds are 100 for 16. That is a tailwind. Check your park brakes off. Maneuver. Our section takeoff maneuver.
Lab, let's rock it.
Check your park brakes off. Let's warm up. Keep that in mind for the high alpha.
Off. Brakes now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya.
Ready, hit.
Cheers, Slayer.
Wings level smoke on. Blowers ready now. Smoke up. Clear.
Cheers, Slayer 2.5.
Let's clear 1 mile mark.
This one's gonna be a party.
Oh yeah. Three miles mark. 3.5. 4 miles mark.
11 on your beam.
A beam.
11 on your take a park.
I take it.
Stand by, mark it. 50. Trace in for the right knife edge.
Up to the right of it.
Shit.
10 seconds mark. 0.5 ahead. 360.
On time.
.5 mark 370.
On time.
2 miles mark 39.
Swag on.
Contact.
Swag off. Ready, hit it.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Trace layer. And clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 1.7 mark.
2 miles. .5 mark.
Jeez.
And a 4 miles mark.
Let me know on your beam.
Beam.
Let me know on your rating mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it. 18.
10 seconds, mark 4 miles. Whoa. Three miles, mark 385.
Turns in for the left inverted.
That was left. 2 miles, mark 41.
Ready, hit it! Smoke on.
Roll right, roll right.
Looking good. A little drive. Ready, hit it!
Roll right,
Stand
roll
by,
right.
roll. And pull. 196.
Left.
Stand by, roll. Chase clear and clear by the ground for the Fortis. Coming left, tuck's coming down.
Contact.
384, using lots of power. 370. 355. Ease the bull. Rolling out. 345. Tilts on the ground, setting up the Fortis. Checking the lights on.
Go out to
Chariot. 325, easing more power.
Overshoot.
Adding power to 300 and coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. Adding power. Adding more power, a little more pull. We're at the 90 for the first can.
Let's get down for that hook up.
Adding more power, easing some pull, rolling out some bank. Easing the pull, rolling out, adding more power, the Fortis. Trace, we're rolling in.
Clear.
Little inboard and very low. Center point. Pushing out. Trace, we're rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left. And set. Stand by the gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Trace clear and clear behind the crowd for the MRT, Estate 9-1.
Upstate 8.
That wind is nasty, bro.
Okay.
Trace circling 5 miles for the Sneak 2 vertical rolls. And trace turn 5 miles for the MRT.
MRT.
Four miles, mark 352. Three miles, mark 350. Two miles, mark 350. Wind is inboard, outboard to inboard. 1.5, mark 350, MRT. 1 mile mark, 351. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease in the pull. A little more pull. Pulling. Kicking. Sure, it's pushing out. Leveling out. 1,000. Coming right. Comes the pull. Ease of the pull. Roll it out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing a little power. 300.
Connect.
315 easing. More power. 330. 345. Souls on the ground. Taking up the opposing MRT.
You'll have to.
Chariot. We're coming right. Comes the pull. Ease and a little pull. Looking for 016. Ease the pull. Roll it out. The opposing MRT. 12 right. Easing lots of power. Smoke on the lead.
Left. Power set. About 50 low.
Smoke off. I'm gonna be late. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Full flat.
Numbers.
Numbers.
Contact. Looking for BrotherLeb.
Connect.
Merge. Stand by. Roll. Pull to 40. Stand by. Roll. Just
Clear.
roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chair's clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.7 mark.
2.5. Four miles.
Let me know when you're beam.
Beam.
Let me know take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by. Market. 28.
Ten seconds. Mark 4 miles.
Chariot's in for the left from the rolls.
Wait, left and left horizontal. 3 miles. Mark 395. Two miles. Mark 400.
Smoke on.
Connect.
Connect. A little pull. Ready, hit it. Frickin' heck.
Clear.
Burners, pull. Stand by, roll. Burners, pull. Ease of the pull. Rolling out 7-0.
7.5.
Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak to vertical rolls. State 7-4.
Stay 7.5.
I don't know what happened there. I was 350 all the way in and ahead of you by 0.3 the whole way. Were you working an angle?
A little bit.
Alright. We'll figure it out. Turn circling 5 miles, so sneak to vertical rolls. And Cherry's turning in 5 miles, sneak to vertical rolls on the runway.
Runway.
4 miles, 1.75.
On tap.
3 miles, 1.83. 2 miles, 1.87.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, 0.90 full burn.
Hold on.
Sure, 796.
Ready.
Nice. Good timing.
Stand by. Roll. 10,000 clouds, no factor.
Clouds and vector Airshow clears. Sure, circling 3.5 for the solo loop and turning in 3.5 solo loop. Ease of the pull. Rolling out. Wings level, smoke on. Adding power. Up. We go. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Vertical 6-0, easing power, easing more power, a little ease. Comes the pull, a little more pull. BrotherLeb, you got me?
Frickin' A, dude.
That was weird.
Yeah. It's the second time it's done it recently.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't either. I've already got the damn thing under 80%, so I don't know what to do. The only thing that's changed is the quad views and DLSS, so it's probably related to something that's doing, but I don't know what.
Wonder if DLSS is doing it because of the extra load on the tensor cores.
Maybe.
I really like it, but it does this, which I don't like. It's crazy though. So I flew in the weather, which used to always do it, for like an hour on a Mariana's server in a World War II aircraft. In and out of clouds, crazy weather stuff, nothing.
I don't know what
Then
it
I
is,
was
man.
flying straight and level at like 20,000 feet away from any terrain over the ocean in a warbird like earlier today.
Yeah.
Maybe it was later, yesterday or something. And like I wasn't doing anything. I just like changed which direction my head was looking, and the whole thing blanked out. In this particular case, I just like pulled over the top, and it just blanked on me.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It's freaking annoying.
Alright, the plan is we're going to do flat show takeoff so that we end up opposed. So
Cool.
you're going to head down the left side of the runway and get ready to do the your low transition to inverted takeoff.
Low transition to inverted takeoff. Got it. Yeah.
And then we'll just resume the show.
Sounds good.
We'll be heavy on fuel, which will be fun.
We can defuel if we want, or I could set it up in the mission.
Nah, because then we'll have to reset it for next time.
Okay.
I mean, but if you want to, we can. It's probably going to be 6,500, so what, like 55% fuel?
Yeah, we'll try it.
That might be too low. Go for 60.
60% fuel? All right.
Actually, no,
good.
sorry, go for 65 because we need to do takeoff maneuvers and everything, so.
65. All right, cool. 65% fuel.
Thought about changing the winds, but that's cheating.
We won't be able to look at the tape from the first half of that.
You don't
Probably be
think?
corrupted. I think it'll be broken.
No. There
We
wasn't
can
much
try
to
it.
look at.
Oh. I will say this. Spotting you was really difficult. Normally when I'm coming in for the MRT, I can see you once you get like within a 1.5 miles, and I kind of fly you visually from there.
Mm-hmm.
I could not. Like I knew right where you were supposed to be, and it wasn't until I got inside of about 1/2 mile that I actually saw you.
Yeah, I expect that with the LSS. Picking someone up in the ground clutter is going to be nearly impossible.
Okay, mission editor. Because I'm editing the file that the real weather thing spits out, this actually is okay because I will pull weather into the other file, the initial file, which is not getting all these things changed. So I shouldn't have to remember. I will double check, but I shouldn't have to change anything with the fuel settings.
Okay, but you will have to change hot starts.
Should override. Yeah, I will have to change with hot starts. That's true. Well, I should go do that after we finish up today. Okay, so let's see. Jetis, there they are. This, we wanted 65% fuel. Okay. 2, and also has 65. 65. Okay, cool. What are the winds set at? 8 knots. That's what the METAR has. Anyway, okay. Sorry. All right, server starting.
We may have, if this is becoming a more consistent thing, we may have me host in the future.
I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Especially now that you have your graphics card.
Yep. Okay. Let's do another startup.
Let me know when you're ready for unpause.
Chariot's ready for unpause.
Pausing now.
Advise when ready for startup.
Ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Leb.
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby engine crank.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby engine forward.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine crank. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine forward.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1,
Flight
mark.
control.
Standby
Flight control.
FCS.
Go for FCS. Go for
In
FCS.
3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Same.
Jerry's the FCS's go.
Leb. Same.
As much as I want to, we don't skimp on the checklists. Chariot's IFA is holding DTC. Because that's how you die.
Yup. Lab DTC.
Chariot's DTC complete.
Lab DTC complete.
Chariot's up to come on.
Lab up tree, come on.
Discord check.
Good check.
Takeoff checks.
What?
Check your smoke pressure on, check your trim set, check your heading. My heading, tree 0 tree. Check your altimeter set to 29 or 86.5 for correct ceremony elevation of 0 feet. Check your wing 0, check your FCS 12, 30, 30, 30, down 2. Check your fuel, seat armed lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on, smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are 100 at 16 knots. Check your altimeter set 29 or 9 or 2 for correction altimeter 29 or 6.8.5 for corrected center point elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of, boy, what did I say, 78 feet above sea level. Chariot squawk 1205, Leb squawk 1206. You're clear to taxi right out of trucks, right on whiskey, right on Yankee. Hold short 28.
Thanks, Lab. Cleared to taxi. Hold short both runways. Stand by for briefing.
Standing by.
And confirm altimeter 29 or 86.5.
29 or 86.5.
Chariots, briefing. It's right out of chocks. Then it'll be a split. You'll head left. I'll head right. You'll go left down to runway 08. Sorry, correction, 10. And hold short while I do my individual takeoff maneuver. Then you'll roll onto the runway once I say clear and do your individual takeoff maneuver.
Copy.
Souls are cleared to taxi. Check your parking brakes off. Chariots powering up to 75. Off brakes now. Come and all clear.
Clear.
Chariots ease and power to 70 and land and roll. Soul switching income 1. Chariots up income 1.
Leb.
Ready, split. See ya.
Leb.
Chariot is holding short 28.
Leb is center point.
Alright, Chariot's lights off, flame lights off, flaps are auto, waypoint 1 into the block stream, waypoint 7, 0.7, altimeter set to barometric, and 2, 8, 6.5. Sensors bypass C disarmed, heading 0 tree 0. Which
Leb, press and Bravo.
all lines 0 tree 0. Where's my spy? There it is. Yep. Cool. check OBS.
And Leb is holy short alpha. One way, 10.
Advise when takeoff checks are complete. Altimeter 2986.5.
2986.5. And takeoff check.
Chariot's rolling onto the runway. Continue holding short.
Leb.
Chariot's cleared for takeoff. Update winds are 100 for 16. That's a tailwind maneuver. Individual takeoff maneuvers.
Leb.
Chariot's running them up. Chariot's rolling. See ya. Chariot's clear.
Let's roll. Let everyone. Ready, hit it.
Don't break your spring.
Leb's clear.
Chariot's clear 3.8. Souls are behind the crowd, setting up the section knife edge.
Section knife edge, 2.8 mark. 3.5 mark. 4 miles mark.
Let me know on your beam.
Beam.
Let me know your take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it. 46.
Seconds mark. 2 ahead. A little fast. A little slow.
Tracing for the right knife edge.
Up the right of it. 3 miles mark. 380.
Correction, right 4 point.
Right 4. 2 miles mark. 395.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. 1, 2,
All right.
3, 4. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chairs clear, and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch 2 miles mark.
Match.
50 knot overspeed required to match your speeds.
That's the tailwind, I guess. 4 miles mark.
Let me know on your beam.
Beam.
Let me know your take a mark.
Ticket.
Stand by, mark at 13. Chariot's in for the left vertical pitch.
Let's do the left.
200.
200. 10 seconds, Mark 4.1. Three miles, Mark 407. Two miles, Mark 398.
Swung on.
Product.
Contact. Add it up. Ready, hit it. 60.
Gonna be close.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 75.
81.
A little more pull.
Got it.
I'm low. .5, Mark 3, 430.
Point 2 ahead.
1 mile, Mark 430.
On time.
Half mile, Mark 430, a little pull, ready, hit it.
Roll right, roll right.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Trace clear, and clearing behind the crowd for the inverted takeoff roll contact.
Coming left, 360. Yeah, I misjudged the tailwind, my bad. 360. Ease and power. And we're rolling out. 355. There's 350. Little drive.
You'll have to, Leb.
Left. Slows behind the crowd, setting up the inverted roll.
Sure.
Coming left, coming further left, comes the pull. Adding a little power, a little more pull. So the 90 for the invert roll.
Chariot.
Ease in the pull, rolling out the inverted tug of a roll.
Chariot.
Little low. Up we go, outboard. Ready, hit it. Outboard.
Swung
Roll
on.
right, roll right.
Looking great.
Little power. Power set. A little drive. Ready.
Swung off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Inside.
Contact.
Ease and pull and rolling out. Coming left, 335. 340. 355. 360. 370. Ease and power. 380. Ease and more power. We're easable. And rolling out.
He got too low.
We'll have easy more power. Slow behind the crowd, setting up the section high alpha.
Chariot.
We are tailwind.
Chariot. Give us lots of room.
Affirm. Outboard, inboard.
Outboard, inboard.
Coming left, easing power idle. Come further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the boards. Board. So the 90 for the section half.
Chariot. Chariot.
Rolling out more. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Stand by the boards. Boards. We are inboard now. Board. 185. Easing power. 180. 175. 170. 160. Little pull. 155. 150. A little more pull. 145. 140. 135. 130 pull. Another set. Adding power. Adding a little more power. We're setting it. Smoke on.
Center point. Wave off.
60 coming left.
Trace breaking left. 230.
Got it.
260 ease and some power. 275 ease and some pull. Rolling out a little bank. 285. 295. 310. 320. 330 ease in the pull. Rolling out.
You gotta do trip.
Chariot, a little drive to level. Ease and power. Souls on the ground, send out the wander.
Lab.
We're a little slow.
Do what you need.
Adding power. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Easing power. Easing more power. We're at the 90 for the wander.
Lab.
Easing some pull. And rolling out. Ease in the pull. The wander 2.5. Easing more power. Go ladder bust. Smoke on. Adding a little power 1 mile mark. Half mile mark. Ready, hit it! Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull. Ease the pull. Roll out. Easing power. 365.
Got it.
Easing more power. A little pull. 365. 360 adding a little power. Delta's behind the crowd. Setting up the Delta roll. Chariot 4-3.
Lab 3. Got 6 lost.
Boss. Coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. We lost half a mile there. Rolling out a little bank. We're at the 90 for the Delta roll.
Lab.
in the pull and rolling out. The delta roll. Smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Rolling out a little pull. Ease in the pull to level. Adding a little power. And we're coming back left. Coming further left comes the pull, a little more pull. Or a left-hand turn for the floaty.
Left.
Smoke off. Rolling out a little bank. Easing some pull. Easing more pull. Adding a little power. Coming back left comes the pull. Ease of the pull. Roll out the flirty. Outboard up. We go a little more pull. Smoke on. 10 slow. Ready, work. Smoke off. Stand by, roll. And pull. Connect.
Ease the pull and rolling out.
Coming right and crossing your nose in front at 500 mark.
Connect.
Ease lots of power. 40. 470. 460 coming for the right comes the pull, adding power. 455.
You got to.
Chariot adding a little more power. Smoke on. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Easing power. Smoke off. Go get him.
Clear.
Clear, sir.
Roll out 085, 3000, 420. Easing power coming right.
Contact.
420.
Please it.
Pull a little more. Pull 400, adding power.
Whoa.
Adding more power, 35.
Climbing, Bureau.
Further right. Little more right. Ease in the pull. Easing more. Pull. And rolling out the loop break cross, boss. 150.
Chariot 300.
We're real high.
You got 6, boss.
Adding a little power comes the pull to level. We're gonna pull through up. We go a little more pull vertical 6-5. Easing a little pull. Comes the pull. Ready, break. Inboard 2. Level in the nose. 0.5 mark, 380. 1 mile, mark 400. 1.5 mark 395. Remember, I got a tailwind.
Oh, I know.
2 miles, mark 400. 2.5 mark smoke on. 3 miles, mark up we go. 4G mark. Horizon now 5-2. 8 alpha. Horizon now 8-4. Power's idle. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Rolling it. Shallow. My bad. 3 miles mark. Level nose 2.5 mark 440. Brakes. Angle. 1.8 mark. 1.5 mark 408. 1.0 mark 398. 5.5 mark big angle 402. Smoke up. Coming left. $390. 375. Add a little. 365.
Check smoke.
Smoke off. 355. Rolling out. Roll a little 350. And we're rolling out. 350. We're coming back left. A little further left. Comes the pull. 350.
You got 6 boss.
Power.
You got 6 boss.
Boss. Easing more. Power. A little more. Pull. Delta's on the left-hand turn for the Delta breakout. It'll be right. It's turn out.
Chariot, right turn out.
A little further left. Comes the pull. Easing the pull. And rolling out the Delta breakout.
Chariot, take it in.
Smoke on. We are about 10 left. Easing power. A little pull. Ready, split. Set. Smoke off. Click.
Chariot's clear. 185 at 240, 1800.
Got it.
270. 290. Coming right. A little pull. 310. Ease and power. 320. $330 coming further right. Delta's in a right-hand turn for the Delta left pitch up brake to land. Ease and power.
You got 6 miles.
Boss. Easing some pull. Smoke on. Coming further right comes the pull. Easing the pull and rolling out the left. Pitch break to land.
Liberty.
Adding power. 5 slow. Center point, boss breaking.
Let's ring it.
Easable. Rolling out 301.
301. Hold out.
Smoke off. Gear and flaps. It's gear down, flaps down, hook up.
Flip, get down, 5 star, hook up.
Coming left. 280 leb. 260 leb. 240 leb. Chariots at the 90. Check 'em 3 in the green. Updated winds are 100 for 16. Staggers left.
Stagger left, 3 in the green, left.
200 leb. 180 leb. 160 leb. Idle. 140 all the way leb.
200. 180. 150. 140 all the way.
Chariots a guy.
Leb's okay.
Whew, baby.
Leb's okay, Trey.
Chariot, landing jacks.
Leb.
Check your swim pressure off. Check your chaps. Check your flaps out. Check your line lines off. Reset your trim and see for seat.
Leb.
We'll go well clear on the left turn into parking for individual right 90s into chocks.
Leb.
Check your parking brakes off. Chairs powering up to 75%. Off brakes now. Chariots ease and power to 70. Coming right, keep me 2 on the right wing.
Leb.
Nice return flight, Lub.
Yeah, we eventually got there.
50 knots, apparently. Chariots ease, power to 60, and land to roll. Rolling out. Coming back, left go well clear.
Leb. Clear.
Chariot rolling through. Rolling out. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Off brakes now. Coming back right. Coming right for parking. Okay. 303. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Check lane lights off. Standby canopy and engines.
Flip.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. And that's the show.
Indeed.
Coming up from under the hood. BrotherLeb, you got me?
I'm clear.
Alrighty-o.
Genuine bummer. We had all those technical difficulties.
Yeah, well, we only had one that affected the recording, so I think we're okay. All things considered, it gave us a chance to practice the flat show takeoff, so.
Yep.
There are silver linings for all things. Attack view. Load up the OG one. I want Chariot and BrotherLeb. Awesome. And then get DCS running.
Oops.
Guess I should probably run DLSS for flat screen too, right?
I have been, but when I've been doing stuff, but I don't know. I don't really notice that much from TVH.
Well, I don't have, where are you, DLSS?
Where are you, DLSS? Why can't I find you?
That's DLAA, that's not what I want. Where is it? Upscaling, there we go. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna try DLAA. Just DLAA on the anti-aliasing, we'll see what happens. Yeah, whatever. We'll run DLSS too.
Oh, that ain't right. Well, I ain't got nothing.
Huh?
My attack views are borked.
Oh, I can send you mine. Mine are fine.
That's okay. I mean, if you want to, you can, but you don't have.
Might as well.
My
Depends
yeah,
on how
they're
big
all
they are.
set in Marianas. The heck?
Both of them? Are you
Yeah,
sure you're
it
in the right
keeps-
folder?
No, it is. It keeps trying to load a Marianas and keeps being wrong.
That's very odd. Well, they're not that big, so I'll send them to you. There you go.
Donka.
Double tack views. Did I launch this? No, I didn't. What an idiot. Launch. Alright. Present. Let's debrief. Okay. That was a show at Akrotiri. interrupted by a technical difficulty and complicated by hefty winds. So it's entirely possible that this might not be... We might still have to go in and edit the Ms file, but at least...
What?
Yes, BrotherLeb?
Oh, never mind. I'm good.
Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. At least we'll have the METAR in the briefing that we can reference in the mission editor to actually edit the mission correctly
Yep.
in the future, you know? So, still some tweaks to be made to that. My goal for the show was to be efficient, fly everything safely, and run just and was to make that adjustment to the 10 seconds, which I think we did, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, I screwed up some of the inbound calls for the maneuvers, but that's something we work on. Also, I'm hoping that we get to fly lower winds in the future, because that screwed up my 10-second timings and my inbound timings, so I don't know how to adjust yet, if that makes sense. Because it's a new inbound procedure, and we're throwing in the variable of wind. But, you know, that's how they learn in the real world, because you can't change the winds in real life.
No, you certainly cannot.
So, anyway, I think all in all, as far as my grade for myself on the this show, I'd actually give myself a B minus. I'd give myself lower, but I think the fact that I flew all of my formation maneuvers quite well after having not done it for a while, I don't know, it was... DLSS is nice in formation. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you get a lot of...
So much more data.
A lot of flags.
Yeah, so much more data. I was so smooth. And so much more data that it was actually a little overwhelming. There were some points where I was like, wow, that happens? Before I get to this site picture? That's crazy. So I think I'll continue to get better with it, which is great. How about you?
My goal was to have no major mishaps, no major safeties, and I did not get that. I did not achieve that goal. I had 2 major safeties and a Class A mishap. So yeah, definitely didn't make that goal. The Class A mishap, not my fault, but all the same. So overall, I felt like I flew pretty well, but the major safeties we'll talk about when we get there. Definitely is a bummer. But yeah, I'm with you. Formation flying was pretty good. Not my smoothest ever, but for not having done it for a while, it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the maneuvers. Taxi felt fine. The taxi on the taxiway itself sucks, but you know.
Yeah.
Did throwing you out to line abreast early work out?
That worked fine, yeah.
Great. Okay.
It was kind of fun. I was just, taxiing a line abreast, and I was like, oh yeah, I can just kind of do this. Just, hold the side picture. It's fine.
Yep.
And I've done enough taxi practice and formation at this point that it's not a thing, even though we're going around a corner.
All right. Both of my dirty rolls on takeoff were good. The second one was definitely better than the first. But both of them are on parameters. I give myself B's.
Yeah, I was mostly grading for the opposite direction, but I guess we can do it this way too. Yeah. So, let's see, was it on the first one or the second one? I can't remember if I had a trouble with a gear thing, and so that kind of delayed it. And then I pulled really hard, and I think I didn't account for the headwind, so I just had a slower airspeed, and I was a little bit had a little bit of right wing or left wing down, I guess. So I had to correct back. So it wasn't the smoothest, and then I had a little bit of rudder, and so there was a bobble in the middle of it. And I also was right at the bottom of the acceptable AGL. So not a safety, but not clean. So I'm going to give myself a D for that.
All right. Next up is the opposing knife edge. This was nowhere near center point because of the tailwind headwind issue. But aside from that, it felt pretty good, and the clears were fairly snappy for me, so I'll give myself a B.
Yeah, aside from the inbound thing, which was sort of new, and I was like way early on that sucker. I felt like the maneuver was pretty good. I felt like the actual knife edge maneuver is probably one of my better ones because I didn't overroll it like I normally do. So overall, I'll give myself a B as well.
Cool. Alright, next up is the inverted to inverted. Yeah, so invert to inverted. This one I was also really wrestling with inbound speeds as well, so that was a challenge. We hit like quarter mile left. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But the maneuver itself was fine, and the turn behind crowd was safe and fine. So, B minus because of how bad we were on timing.
Yeah. This one, I think the distance was not the best, and I think, a little bit below you as well. The rest of the maneuver felt pretty standard though, so I'll give myself a C for that one.
Okay. Then we get to the Fortis. The tailwind meant that we were really slow rolling out, so I had to add power in, and then the tailwind was moving my jet all over the place on the roll-in, which was wild. So if it looked crazy on your screen, it's because it was crazy in the jet.
Not any crazier than normal.
But
not gonna lie.
Yeah, got the jet on profile, and we actually crossed right over center points, more or less on altitude, which was wild, all things considered. The push out was fine, the roll was fine, and then the gear and flaps and clear were also fine. So I'd actually give myself a B+ for that.
Yeah, the formation maneuver was really good. Rollout, I was like matching your bank angle really well, and I think I hid the jet pretty well too. When you rolled in, based on where you were and then where you ended up and how much lower you were than I was anticipating, it was just not smooth to get into position with you, so that's not going to look good. And I was a little wide, or at least wider than I prefer to be. So that's not ideal. And then I was just wider than normal for the whole thing, for the clear and everything. And so I think on the side picture, I just ended up getting a little sucked. So yeah, I would give myself a C for that one.
All right. Next up is the MRT. This one was actually quite good. The headwind was wild, though. It definitely... I essentially stopped. Like, the jet essentially stopped when I did the turbo nose low. Like, I could feel the jet really uncomfortable underneath me. But definitely got the whole, vertical, horizontal float thing happen, which was kind of cool. But we got... well, never mind. That's the next maneuver. Once again, B+ for this maneuver.
This maneuver is not that exciting, but I basically was in there about the right spot. I'm glad I did a little head check when I was crossing over what I thought was center point, because I forgot that you were doing it on center point and not on the runway. So I was expecting you to be over the runway, but you weren't. So I was actually able to deconflict a little bit, and so that actually worked out. And I think I was probably at about the right spot relative to crowd, but I was pretty wide. So I will look behind you once we roll out on the behind crowd heading. So I got myself a B for this.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, I needed to be at like 280 realistically to make that work. Wild. Okay. Fun stuff. All right. The opposing Minamaria's turn. If you watch the tack view, I bet you can see it from above. But we're gonna make this turn, and then we just get shoved. Like, we're flying parallel to the runway, but we get shoved a good quarter mile. From crowd right to crowd left. And so that meant that the turn behind crowd, I should have kept more pull into it, quite a bit more. So what that meant is that we were 12, had to come back at an angle of 12 right, which was a huge problem. And so that led to all the rest of the issues throughout the rest of the maneuver. As far as like flying the maneuver itself, I was on parameters the whole way around, but I added up too much power coming back to center point, and that's on me. I was looking at you and I thought you were way early, and so I was like, uh-oh, he can't solve this, and so I added power, and it was the wrong decision. So we ended up crossing like 5 left, or 5 right. Um, and then my clears were pretty nasty. So I'd give myself a C minus on this one.
So I started out super wide, which made the rejoin hard, and I was doing it in the middle of the turn, so I put you in lead pursuit and then tucked them under your wing, and then the rollout was quick, and we were on a crazy heading, but I was able to get established on your wing, so when you handed me lead, I was basically dead abeam and on speed, which halfway through the turn, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get there. So that was great. I was able to get on parameters pretty quick after the actual hit. Level turn, and was able to spot you and figure out where center point was and get a pretty good sight picture going, and managed it. And then when you thought he's not going to be able to fix this, what you changed meant that I couldn't. So I tried as hard as I could to get to where we were going to be on the center point, to try and hit it, and I was adding power the whole way. Even though I still had that tailwind coming in that direction. But I think it'll actually be closer to center point than you think. I think I was a little high on the hit, but we'll see what that actually looks like. And then for whatever reason, I like pulled power out on the way outboard, so I was slow, and so my rolls were slow. Clears weren't bad; they were just lazy and slow because the airspeed was slow. But overall, I'll give myself B plus for that. It was pretty good.
All right, next up is the opposing horizontal rolls. This one, I had a lot of speed out coming into the box because of the distances, and so I don't know. All things considered, no, this one was horrible. I remember that. I remember it took us forever to cross. Um, yeah. So the rolls were fine. Up the hill was fine, and over the top was fine as well. Just I was frustrated, so D on this one for me. It's my job to make the horizontal work.
Yeah, you pulled. I think I just started off a little lower than I should have, and then when you pulled up, you pulled up higher than I was anticipating. So I don't think I think horizontally I'm going to be below you. Just like you kept pulling, and I was like 7 degrees by the time we actually did the hit, which meant that I had lots of nose high, which was nice. Yeah, and then uphill, the rest of it was fine. Rollout was okay. I don't know why the jet was and the headset was fine with that rollout because it's almost exactly the same as the sneak to vertical roll, but whatever. Overall, I'll give myself like a B. Not great, but or not like stellar, but perfectly acceptable.
I have a note. I think you're executing your rolls and stuff based on 5 timing. So I'm noticing that we're not synced on the stuff where we're not looking at each other. I could be wrong about that. Do you know what your mental timing was for hits and stuff? Were you giving it a
was
pause?
6 timing. Nope, not
Okay.
that I remember. Not at least not consciously.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll take a look when we get to the fleur-de-lis, that'll be the teller for me as to what I need to change. Alright. Sneak pass was good. I've got no notes. B+.
I was on time at the beginning of it and pulled out power more than I should have, forgetting about the fact that you were going to be on the runway and not at center point. All the same, I think I was still basically on time. And then I rolled out behind crowd pretty well. It was a little bit crowd left, but immediately my headset died. And you can see the fun things that my jet does in TechView. Yeah, I'd probably call that a C plus. I don't know.
I had no idea that it happened. I was just like
No,
continuing.
and I was like, you know, all over the blower, just like, I'm Mayday, Mayday! Lab has no visual. Lab is freaking, Clara everything. And you're just like, comes the bull. And I'm like, you jerk. And then I was like, all right, the headset's off. He can't hear me.
Yep. I was like, what are you talking about? Whoa, hello. That's because I'm attached to the other Blue Angel. Well, that would be the thing. Cool. Okay. All right. Well, that takes us to the second takeoff. Any comments on that one?
I've literally never done that before, but it's not hard, so I did it, and it seemed fine. I wasn't exactly sure what the clear was supposed to be, so I did an inverted, and then I did like a 270 and pulled behind crowd.
Okay.
I hope that's acceptable. I don't really know what he's supposed to do.
So that maneuver 4-6 is supposed to be a hard pull to the 45, and then a roll inverted pull level, and then you clear behind the crowd.
Got it. Okay. I pulled to 10 degrees, rolled level, inverted, pulled to level, and then did a 270 to pull behind crowd. So, yeah. All right, cool. F.
Well, you didn't know what it was, so that's fine.
Probably looks okay.
We'll find out. Posing 4 points. As we were circling for this, I was calling the knife edge, because in a regular show, that's what would be that maneuver. But when we hit the 3 mile, I got the call right, and we adjusted properly, so I'm proud of us for that. Also, I was on the numbers, because I'd had a little bit of time to think about the crazy wins. My 4 points were pretty good. The clear behind crowd was okay. All in all, I give myself a C- because it's a safety to improperly call things.
The whole time, I was like, are we going to be on the right side of the show for the maneuvers we need to do after this? And I couldn't. My brain just couldn't make it work. So I thought initially when you called knife edge, he's like, oh, he's doing that so that way we switch sides so that we're on the right side of the show. But then when you called 4 point, it's like, oh, I guess not. I'll just trust him. You were right, but I didn't believe it. I did the maneuver just fine, except for my second knife edge was a little under rotated. So overall, C-.
Alright, next up is the vertical pitch. I'd have a lot of power out to come in. You're doing 0.6, I'm doing 0.5, and that was necessary in order to make the horizontal work, and still we hit like 2 to 3 left. So I was thinking about how we might fix that as I was doing the rest of this maneuver, and we didn't end up getting there, but that's okay. The pull-up was fine. The rollover was a little fast, and the ladder was a little fast, so we were low, which meant that I had to bring in more pull, and I noticed I was getting blown quite a bit. Kind of left. So I kept speed in and called the numbers to make sure that we hit somewhere near the right time. So all in all, I'd consider my performance in this maneuver to be C, because I was trying to fix the problems. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, inbounds were pretty steady. So sorry about the speed wind thing. That's just what it is. I didn't account for that in what I was doing. So I was going up the hill. I wasn't going as far downrange as you were. And that was also why I was probably higher, because it was just keeping my nose attitude higher. And then when I came down the hill and you called that you were low, and I could see that you were a little low, I brought in power because I'm like, oh shoot, he's going to get there early. But as soon as you called your distances, I was 0.3 ahead, and I was like, I have a tailwind. I don't know how I'm going to slow this thing down enough to make this hit. So it was like basically too late. And so I did what I could, but we were going to hit pretty far left, and we sure enough did. So D-. Not a failing. It was like I didn't fail the maneuver, but it was not well done.
Alright, inverted tuck over roll. This was actually quite good. My rejoin was solid and not snappy, but I got there safely. The roll behind crowd was good. The turn behind crowd was good. I feel like I lined up my jet pretty well, and then I matched all of your adjustments when you rolled inverted, which I think I just did off of instinct, given the fact that I've been doing uh, the 6 rolls recently, which was really kind of fun. And then I was just a little high and a little ahead for the entire rest of the maneuver inbound. But still, I think this is one of the better ones that I've done. And then I think the clears were pretty good, with the exception of my timing on the hits and stuff. So I need to keep working on that. So all things considered, I think I give myself a B minus.
Yeah, this one was pretty solid on my end as well. Rolling was good. Little scoop in, but it kind of worked out because we were able to point back up and regain kind of the altitude we needed. Point a little bit outboard because I knew we had to crosswind the element that was going to push us back toward crowd. I think that was fine. A few adjustments inverted, but got it pretty steady, and you called in pretty early on, so I just, sort of held what I got. And then I rolled right to the right angle and was, matching a lot of stuff, and you were right where I expected you to be and pretty close, so I was able to stay in close with you. And then I think the clears were good, so I overall give myself a B.
All right.
Yeah, so Section Alpha. This guy was okay to start. We were a little low coming in, and then I didn't bring in enough pull early, so we lost a lot of altitude. And then I should have pulled to the set a little earlier because of the tailwind. And so we lost a little more altitude once we did that. So we stabilized about 200 feet, which is the very bottom of this maneuver for safety. So, again, just barely not a safety, but we were able to stabilize it. And then I kept the thing pretty steady all the way across, a little bit out or inboard to outboard. But again, I kind of wanted to have that bias that direction if we were going to get pushed towards crowd. Yeah, clear was I kind of took a note from what you did, and I pulled a little earlier, so I kept a slower airspeed to hopefully get a little bit more of a skid over the top. Overall, I don't know, C plus. It wasn't amazing, but it was pretty good.
All right. My maneuver was actually pretty good. I was locked in on you around the corner and then scooted right out and stayed in line. And just with the extra frames, it's really easy to keep my nose in the right spot. Yeah. You hold it to the set, and I will say one thing that's interesting about the extra frames is there's not much of a difference frame to frame. Getting closer is a lot harder to decipher that it's happening. So, I just kept the discipline of keep thinking, keep inching away from him, and it never ends up happening. You just end up flying line abreast. And that worked out great. I was a little bit afraid with the tailwind that if I pushed the nose all the way over, I'd have to scoop the jet off the dirt. And so I didn't push the jet over far enough. So I can be a little bit more aggressive with that next time. If we have these winds, which we might not, which will be interesting. So I'll give myself a B plus on that one, actually.
Nice.
Next up is the Wander. Yeah. This one was actually pretty good. Had to make a little bit of adjustment around the corner. But then, yeah, we rolled out more or less online, and I was adjusting for on speed, and I pulled up to the right angle, and then we did our roll, and yeah, it was a flat turn on good speed. So yeah, I'll give myself a solid B on this one.
Yep, same. Not a lot of notes. No reason to dwell on it.
All right, next up will be the Delta roll. This one I knew because of what happened with the opposing MRT that we were going to get pushed. Pushed crowd left, so I brought in a little bit less pull through this maneuver, through the turn, and then rolled out a little bit crowd right of center point. We didn't have a lot of speed, so I made the pull a little bit more aggressive up the hill. And then in the roll, the jet was behaving as expected until we reached the final 45, right at the end, where suddenly the roll just arrested, and I didn't change anything, but it just stopped, which was really weird. Uh, and so we just rolled out really smooth after that, and then pulled to level. It seemed like you were able to stick with me through that, so that's a miracle. All in all, I give myself a C minus on this one. Normally, I'd blame the jet, but you can't blame the jet. You can only blame yourself. So I'll see what I can do to fix that for next time to make it a little bit smoother. I'm glad we're all still here.
Yeah, this was pretty good. Behind crowd was pretty solid. I was kind of just getting comfy, trying to settle into the position I needed, and then I made some adjustments up the hill, kind of getting a sense for like what your pull rate was going to be and whatnot, and then was able to hang pretty well throughout the entire roll. I did notice midway through the roll, I'm like, why am I needing to use more bank than he's using? And I realized, oh, I haven't used rudder at all. Normally I rudder this maneuver. So then I started bringing in rudder, and that helped, but I was already kind of out of phase with you just a slight bit. But I stayed in basically as close as I've ever been. And so I would basically rate this a B plus, with the exception of there was a wing climb once you leveled out at the very end of the maneuver. And so that's going to knock it down to a normal B. But up through that last, like, just when you leveled out after the maneuver, it was a really, really good version of this thing.
Yeah, dude, you looked locked in.
I wish I'd remembered that I need to use rudder, because it would have been even more locked in, because I was just like right there, and I was making the adjustments that I needed to make to stay in position.
Quad views DLSS is changing my life. It's kind of cool.
Just kind of figure out some way to improve the spotting a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, without DLSS and quad views, the spotting is awful. It's this like gigantic black dot, and you can't ignore it. But with it, I can't see. Like I said, I got to be within a half a mile to even see where your darn jet is.
Might be increasing the sharpening.
Yeah, right.
Alright. Flirtily. Yeah, this one I knew was going to be weird because of all the wind. So I tried to adjust for it, but we still ended up being outboard for this maneuver. But we were on heading, so that was good. We were a little slow going up the hill. And then the rolls were fine. Roll behind crowd was fine, and I was just like, there's so much speed authority around here. So I had a head of steam and cut in front of you quite a ways. So eased a lot of power out, and then I have failed to do this turn well in both of my practices, and this time I got it right, which was kind of cool. So we ended up going right over center points at a decent angle, and not low enough to scrape you off, but low enough to look cool, which is what I failed at the last two times as well. And then going up over the top, both of my sets were too fast. The first set was quite zippy, and the second set, I added some extra roll rate in about a second into it, which is a no-no from me and a safety. So even though a lot of things were good in this, I'd still give myself a D, because I need to do better at leading the second half of the maneuver. I'll fix my safeties. I'm glad we're still here.
Yeah, so Flirtily, there was a point coming around the corner where I fell out initially before we came in, like as we're setting up Flirtily, and I knew it was coming because it always happens every show, and I just didn't, I don't know, I just like psyched myself out or something. So I was grumpy about that, but I was able to get back in position. Good position up the hill, good split, good speed. I pulled too much power turning behind crowd, and so I was only doing like 350 knots. But then when I was able to pick you up a beam pretty easily and plug the blowers, so I didn't get too far behind you and able to catch you about the 90. Call in, then we could get smoke on. Then I was more or less in for the rest of it. Not the most locked in I've ever been, partly because of your roll rate, and then I just didn't quite catch your pull up the hill at the same rate that I want and need to. But yeah, those roll rates were just a little quicker than I was anticipating, so I was just a little wobblier than I would want to be, but still within parameters very comfortably. So overall, I'll probably give myself a B- for this. Moving on to the loop break cross. I should have delayed my turn a little bit because we were coming around, and I was flying the whole thing visually, which meant that I didn't have enough bank angle, so we're climbing the whole way.
Yeah.
And so I needed a head check a few times, and we didn't, or I didn't, and so that threw some things off when we came around the corner. I was able to lose, ease out the pull and lose altitude on the way in, and that kind of worked. And then I timed the pull right so that we could just smoothly pull through instead of having to have any kind of level out, which was better than the alternative. I didn't get quite enough G up the hill, but we also had a slower power setting, which I think kind of worked out because otherwise we would have stalled and with a headwind. And then the split, it's okay. We were a little bit left again because of the wind, which I just didn't account for. And then, oh dude, you gotta pull the 60. So yeah, on the outbounds, the wind was a factor. And that kind of threw some things off. I was trying to figure out, should I adjust for that or not? Like, no, he's got to adjust for that. And then I did something up the hill where I was in a completely weird direction relative to center point. Like, I don't know what was going on, but I leveled my wings, and I had to come left like almost 15 degrees to point back towards center point. So I got to figure out why that happened. It could have been the wind. It could have been.
It was the wind.
Wing down.
You're flat.
The wind.
Yeah, your wings are flat the whole way up and over. You just got blown.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So I just did not account for that, and it threw me off on the way inbound pretty heavily, both in speed. I didn't check my altitude. So here's the first safety of the night. I was at 200 feet, and I called 150. So we were real close over, and I knew it too. And I was like, that's on me. I could tell we were going to be safe, so I didn't do anything. But yeah, and the fact that we were even close on the hit for center point is really a testament to your ability to do this maneuver, because I did not make it easy for you. So yeah, big old safety there. Glad to be here. Glad we're both still here. And I'll fix those safeties for next time.
For me, the turn I was able to get in pretty well, and I noticed that we were climbing, so I knew that the rollout and the pull at the bottom was going to be pretty wicked. With the LSS, I was able to stay right in. It was really nice. And then up the hill, I had some extra frames to tell me how to adjust, and so I was just like right in the right spot the whole time. I didn't realize how much adding half again as many frames was going to increase my excellence in formation flying, but it really did.
Twice as much information.
Yep. The not pulling to 60 was a conscious decision because we were, because of where we were compared to center point. But I forgot that you had the tailwind, so that was a mistake. And so I had to punch in blowers, and I was absolutely hauling the mail on the outbound. Was doing 0.85 Mach at one point. And then went up over the top, and then was pretty much locked in with your distances all the way in. I was ignoring your speeds because I was just having to do it off of sheer dead reckoning. And then as we were at the 1 mile mark, I looked over my right shoulder and noticed that you were going to get there quite a bit earlier than me, so I punched in blowers again and made the cross work, and noticed just how close we were, and realized that I also had a safety, and I was at 250. So this is exactly why they have 150 feet of separation, even at their most tight. So, yeah. As far as that maneuver, it's like 2 halves. Half 1 would be an A. Half 2 would be a D. So I think it has to be a C-, because you can't pass if you fail one part of it.
Yeah, mine's an F with the safety. Let's see. So yeah, the Delta breakout. I think it's just the wind. Like, there's not much to say. The turn was fine. The rollout was fine. We were just like way at a funny angle, and I think it's just because we were pushed really far crowd right. So by the time we pointed back towards center point, we were, facing in a really like pretty far back crowd right. So if we have winds in a direction like that, I'll just have to keep that in mind for a little bit more pull to make sure that we're pointed back where we're supposed to. Oh, and then the other thing that I did not do correctly was I didn't pull to 2Gs quickly, and so there's a variety of reasons why this isn't going to look right, but that contributed to it. So, a couple of problems. C-, glad to be here.
My rejoin was great, and I was great in formation, a little loose, and then got right alongside you, and actually lost you just a touch. Right before you said hit it, but I neutralized my controls to match your make sure your jet wasn't moving before you called brake. So it ended up looking measured, which is good. All in all, probably a B because of the screw up right before the end. All right, that takes us to the Delta pitch up brake to land. I knew the wind was going to do wonky things to us, so I was thinking about that all the way around the turn, and it ended up just being a visual fly fest to make it to the runway. Ended up being quite a strong correction right at the end, and that's just because we were a little too low, I think, in the final part of the turn. But all things considered, I got us on the runway and in the right spot. And yeah, the rest of the maneuver, as far as I think it was a little bit too tight of an angle. 301 should be a 25-degree offset, which should be fine. No, that's a 15-degree offset, so that's where I screwed up. I should be at 316, so that's why we were in tight. But I made the turn work, and with the winds, it just took a while to touch down. And that was all fine. Taxi was fine. I'd give myself probably a C for that maneuver.
Yeah, so my rejoin was sick. That was cool. And then the form flying was pretty good. And then, we had those conversations about how the lead is just supposed to fly what he sees and what he needs to do to get where he was, and the wingmen are supposed to just hang on. And so like when you started maneuvering, I was like, oh, he's trying to fix something. But I honestly, the slightly more aggressive maneuvering was, maybe it's because of the LSS, I don't know, it was easier to follow. Like I was just like, all right, cool, he's just bringing in more. So I'm not trying to figure out like millimeters of stick pressure adjustment, just like fractions of a pound per square inch. It's like, no, it's just like, bring it over here and do this thing.
Yep. Just like, here we go, rip it!
And because you were rolling out more quickly, I was able to catch, or I was thinking about the pitch up moment. And then you brought in power, which actually helped with that. And so I was able to stay more or less in position and was going to take it in, but then you called your ready brake. Yeah, the brake was good. Carried a little bit more speed once I rolled out, but that was because of the tailwind. So the airspeed was still, it was like, why will it not slow down? I need to be at 300 knots, and it's like just 320,
yep.
318, 16. I was like, come on. So that was the thing. And then the second safety of the night. So I delayed my gear and my flaps because of the airspeed thing. So I didn't overspeed them. But then when I decided, I came left and then popped gear and flaps, and I lied and said that my gear and flaps were down. You called it, and I had not done that yet. But B, I hit the landing light lever, which is next to my gear lever. So the landing light turned off, and my gear did not come down. But I didn't realize this. And so you called 3 in the green, and I didn't even check it. I was like, oh, I put down my gear, blah, blah, blah. So we're coming around the corner, and, man, this thing's like not slowing down. And I'm rolled out, and I was like calling 200. It's like, I don't understand. And then I get the little flashy on the AOA indicator, and then the thing starts beeping, boop, 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 boop. And I was like, oh, crap. So short final, gear's not down. Throw the gear down, and I could hear that it had come out within, I saw like a quarter mile, maybe a little less than a quarter mile to go. So I was like, all right, we're good. I don't have to go around. Everything's fine here now. Definitely safety. But yeah, I was able to put it down, and I was even on speed by the time I got down. But as a result of that, I had caught up to you quite a bit, and so the interval will be wrong. So yeah, F because of the safety. I will fix my safeties. Glad to be here.
Taxi?
Right, taxi overall fine. I don't think there's anything to know. There's a little bit of lack of smoothness in a couple of spots because I'm not used to this taxi pattern and this taxi way. But overall, give myself a solid B for both taxi out and taxi back.
All right. Well, in that case, let's go watch it.
I hope we can.
We'll find out.
Then I need to go to bed.
Yep. Yeah, I don't just say those checklists for nothing.
I know.
Also, you still had the taxi light on when we parked.
Well, that's because I can't remember. There was some switchy thing I was trying to do, and so I flipped them on accident.
During the taxi at the end?
No, during the takeoff or the landing checks.
Oh, okay.
Like I inverted what was supposed to happen.
Okay.
Because the landing light was off, and so I just flipped that switch, which turned it on.
All right, let's go find out where Centerpoint is. Okay.
There should be a comm cart.
Is that where we're calling crowd?
That is where I measured crowd from.
All right, cool.
That's what.
Man, that is some wind, brah. Spicy. All right, cool. 016, right there. Look at that. I'd go lower, but then we'd see the windsock the whole time. So
That's fine.
actually,
Probably
this is about where the
any stands there would be.
Right. Well, looks like we're just gonna skip most of the taxi today.
Somewhere over there, there are some F-18 Hornets.
Crazy that they have the detail to put AC units.
Only on the high lot models, though.
Yeah. Look at the DSS blur. I can see it. Can you?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I could definitely see it when we were heading outbound for the OMRT setup.
Uh-huh.
You were like this streaky
Oh, interesting.
anime jet.
Alright. Here we go. And Blue Angels 5 and 6 are rolling. Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to do DLSS. Look at the front tire. Wow, you took off so fast! That's nuts!
I forgot about that safety. I totally forgot. I didn't set it. So I was at 12. So I just full forward stick.
Yeah, it just looks too blurry. I'm not going to do DLSS in the future. For the replays.
When this replay dies, you can switch it.
Yeah, I will.
So you don't have to restart the sim to switch it.
Wow, look at that headwind. You're so slow.
I almost stalled.
Let me do dunk. Turn down the volume. It's
Turn
very
down the
loud.
what? Yeah, I thought the timing, the 10-second timing, was going to be a harder adjustment than it ended up being.
Nope. Oh, it's so ugly. I hate it. DLSS just is not for me on the 2D replays.
It's funny. You get a twinkle in DLSS in the replays, which is what you get in VR without it.
We're so far left. It just looks like I'm like... It looks like we have shields from Dune.
Yeah.
It's really smooth, but you pay for it.
Uh-huh.
I wonder whether any of the newer DLSS models are better, the DLSS 4 models. So apparently they're
check.
supposed to be better.
We were already using a fairly advanced preset.
We're using...
With the
Still, it's a
software.
DLSS 3 model.
I bet you the 3LS4 would be better, yeah.
It's a little
I
low.
mean, it would have to be, right?
Huh?
Oh, yeah. I was not hiding the jet. That's a bummer. But I was matching your...
Yeah.
That was good. Not quite wide enough, though. Not bad.
It's pretty good.
All right.
Give me this, give me this, come on. Yes!
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Why, you can't even see me anymore. I'm just a blurry mess. Alright. MRT. Had to do it at the full 250 because of the trees. That tree bank right there. The only trees of that height in the area. There's the tailwind. Coming around to the headwind. Look at it stop! It's just parked! That's the headwind for you.
Yep.
Man, you were way out there.
Yeah. It was exciting. This turn.
Oh! Look at this. Look at how far we're getting blown.
Whoa.
I'll fix that for next time. Decent timing on the turn.
right heading. Dead away from crowd tower.
Yep. And one of the best rolls I've ever done, too. Pretty good.
Hold on. Roger.
Oh, 350 knots. Unbelievable. That was awful. Alright, in we come. Ready to see some exciting tumbling? There he goes! There he goes, folks! Alright. Time to change replays and change graphic settings. Hey, DLSS off. MSAA. I like the challenge that Real Weather puts in, but I was not expecting 16 knots to mean a 50 knot delta inbound.
It shouldn't be a 50, it should be more like a 30 knot. You know, because the one guy's got the tailwind, the other guy's got the headwind.
Definitely more aliasing.
Question.
Huh?
We should figure out something about the real weather, though, because, like, I put in 9 knots in the mission editor.
Yeah, and that would be 16 knots because it doubles.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. So that was something I screwed up, because I think okay, so in that case, it did do that, right?
Yep.
Because it had 5 knots in the mission editor, and I was like, that's
Which would be
wrong.
10 knots.
Yep, so that would have been right. Okay, so that was my mistake then.
You didn't trust the process.
Well, no. I didn't make it.
Yeah, it would have been right.
Well, part of it also is because I did that using the JSON, the custom, and it has its little like flag thing listed as meters per second,
Correct.
which you can't put in what the actual meters per second should be. Otherwise, that'll be wrong. Because I tried that.
Okay.
Because I did the conversion to figure out what meters per second would be from the 9 knots.
Yeah.
And then I put that in. And then what it spit out in the mission editor was like, I don't remember what it was, but it was not even close. So I have to figure out what the deal with that is. Oh,
Yep.
gnarly.
And then the gear's gone.
This is the one where I had the gear problem, I think. Oh no, it's coming out. Never mind. Oh, I didn't do the 270. I just turned that way. Okay, well, not how it's supposed to be, but whatever.
The 10 seconds makes it really easy for me to do wider arcs and stuff like that, though. Because, like,
Yeah.
I just have to be at 4 miles at 10 seconds, and then I can make that work no matter how far away I am. Wow. It looks so much cleaner
It does, it really does.
without
The
DLSS.
banding, you get the banding back.
Yeah. But it looks so much more snappy and real. There's a fuzz to DLSS.
It's true.
Which doesn't matter as much when you're in VR, and that's just kind of the way it works. But on flat panel, I'd rather have sparkly and clean, personally. Huh. Only my left can was lit. Interesting. Alright, skip. Oh yeah, I didn't make this turn early enough. And I got absolutely shunted by the wind. I should have turned way earlier. It was fine.
You got in on time.
Yep,
That's what matters.
the headwind helped. I was making an adjustment when you rolled. That was not your fault.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't see you. I just call the roll and do it.
Yep, just a little ahead and a little high. The whole way in. Alright. But look at that. That's more or less where I need to be. Just a little high and a little ahead.
This was really in position too. Wow, that overroll. It's insane. It was, I underrolled it in the jet. I remember noticing, like, oh shoot, I'm like at 85.
Yep. It happens.
You know what you ought to do? You ought to do these replays in 4K.
Yeah, I can now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're losing altitude. There, we stabilized that. Not bad, sir.
Not bad at all. That looks cooler.
Not quite sure. We'll need to think about what I want it to look like on that.
If you roll slower, it might look more skid-like. I don't know.
Maybe I got the wrong rudder in? I don't know. That was my bad. You called smoke on and I was late. I remember thinking that.
No, I didn't wait for that, sorry. Alright, let's see how we do.
A little wide, little section right there. The rest of it looked real good though.
There's that stop.
And the wing climb there. No, not yet.
There it is.
Right there.
Yep, that's the level. It did come up a little quick. I never like how unforgiving this locked off camera is. Apparently you can... There's a Airshow camera file out there that like makes your camera wobble a bit from what it's locked onto.
Huh. Find it.
Nice.
That's good.
Very nice.
The timing, very good, yeah.
That was good.
Long turn as well.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. That's what it's supposed to look like.
It's awesome.
It's terrifying because you have to be like nose down rolling out for this.
Yeah.
But like, as I ease the pole, I could just hang us on that wing because easing the pole means that the nose, that you actually start climbing a little bit. That's really fun.
Yep. It's like that Thunderbird's boss set. You just
Yep.
put the center point on, like you put your flight path marker on the center point.
Exactly. Yep. Nice. Good timing there.
Yeah, so if we not go left, I would need to
Hmm?
pull it. In order to not drift left, I would need to bring in more pull earlier.
Mm-hmm. Or had us go up the hill earlier.
Yeah.
I was like literally locked in. You'll see it on the tape. It felt really nice.
This is where the smoke prop.
Yeah, you never smoked off. You didn't call it either, but when you said pulling to level, I did it because that's what I thought we...
Yeah, no, you did the right thing. Honestly, I didn't realize it until just now. I knew there was a smoke issue, I just didn't know it happened.
Oops, what happened? I ran away from center point. Hang on. I can't pause it. Stop! This'll work.
Good hit, though.
I was proud of it.
Probably just need to turn earlier as well.
Tighter.
In addition to a little more pull.
Yeah.
Tighter turn, but also just earlier.
That wind is nuts.
Yeah, look at that.
Looks pretty good.
That's actually not too bad. Rejoin, rejoin, rejoin. This is a good one.
Nice.
I can't quite tell from this angle.
I can see it on the tack view.
Yeah.
It looks sick.
I wanted to like just tuck right into position, but I was just a little late.
There's
on
the extra
pull.
turn here.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's look cool from the mic cam too this turn, because it was pretty wicked
probably,
rollout too. Classic DCS replay right there. You were not that wobbly.
No, I was a little wobbled, but not that much.
A little late. All right.
This will be interesting. Good show site though.
I like it. Fun place to fly.
Yeah.
And
Though
not
with those trees, they kind of hide center point at certain points.
It really does. I was really struggling with that on my practice shows. Yeah, that's right down the line.
That's definitely you, because your gear is down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do the check 2 times in the turn.
Oh, whoa.
What?
The tree texture in the background the other.
Oh, oh my gosh, dude, no! Yeah, with it being like crosshatch, that's actually the aliasing and the LOD. It's the LOD unloading.
Plenty of time.
Uh-huh. Oh, you pancaked it too.
Oh, I lost all my all the airspeed just died once the
Whoop.
gear got down.
Okay. It is so hard to do anything of use when you're zoomed in like this with a mouse.
Now my taxi light is on. It was
Mhm.
off before. 'Cause I toggled it like an idiot.
ever turning taxiway. Very challenging.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Where are our boys? Did I miss them? Yep,
Yeah.
I did. Oh, look at that. 4 is not quite in line. Interesting. They're just in we're just in parking spots here, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Lined up, though.
A little back. Yep. Two of the jets have their...
Yes.
That's
Yes.
fine.
Accurate.
To do that in the swap.
That's it.
All right, cool stuff.
That's a show. Alright, folks. Thank you so much for watching. And we will see you next time we fly at Akrotiri for our Saturday show. Bye.